All right, perfect. Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. My name is Susan Manuello, and I am going to be taking us through some exciting announcements. This is such a great time to jump on and make sure that you feel super plugged into what's happening in the world of Remon. So, we're going to do that tonight so that, yeah, you guys can just know about the events this week and also what's coming up um, as we go through the month that's coming up in April, which is crazy. How many of you are just like, how is it March 30th? I know that's me right now. Where did March go? It's exciting. Like it's been an awesome start to the year, but it is moving very, very quickly. So, yeah, so with that, we're going to get into the announcements and then we have some incredible testimonials tonight. We have the number one senior manager that is going to bring the fire and give an awesome, awesome training tonight as well. But first, let's get through some of the exciting things happening. Okay, Christy, I can see you. Can you see my screen?
I can see your screen. Looks
Okay,
amazing.
fabulous. Something is working today. Okay, so as you probably know, and if you don't, that's okay. But we have been collaborating with amazing directors in Team 1%, and we have been bringing you every Monday morning a power hour. And this is a time to come to the Zoom with your notebook, your phone, get some work done. Every single week, there is either a new topic or something for you to really engage in, but it is a time for you to set aside. And I know that it's not always the best time for you, but just know that you can either catch a replay or potentially it might work out for you one week and you can get on and get a lot of really great coaching on these calls that helps your business go to the next level. On every Tuesday and Thursday, we have been doing these awesome lives. However, we did start to change Tuesday night to just the first Tuesday of each month. So, right now, you can access the replay that was done on March 10th. And next week, we have a new live on April 7th that will be coming to you. Okay, so that is a great one to share and invite to and send the replay. Then on Thursday, we have live masterclass every single week. And this Thursday is going to be amazing with all of these beautiful ladies. Lori Albus plus her special guests are going to be on here hosting the K Beauty Skincare, the makeup masterclass. Every single time I jump on these, I'm learning something new. And it's just so much fun to invite your customers, current customers, or anybody who is truly just curious about K Beauty. Get them on this call. It's the most fun call I think we have, which is why we love still having it every Thursday, right? Okay, so what else is happening this week? You guys, we have our monthly rundown on April Fool's Day, but it's not a joke. You definitely want to be on this call. Make sure your teams are on this call. It's at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. This is when we get all of the, event updates from corporate. We have time for recognition and hear about new promotions. So, of course, if you're watching the chats, you're going to see the things come up, but it's nothing like being on the call and making sure you're getting the information first. Right after the corporate rundown is our first product university that is starting for this spring. So if you haven't registered yet, make sure you take out your phone right now, do the link on the QR code right there. It's not too late. You can definitely register. It asks you on the Zoom link to select the weeks that you're planning to attend, and you're going to get an email to access the Zoom information so that you can make sure to get plugged in. With our new ingredients and the formulas and the updates, you want to hear this straight from corporate and from Angie Trujillo so that you are in the know on how to share this information. And remember, you don't have to be the expert, but it is so nice to get just a few different, new terminology, new different verbiage to use as you share these incredible products with others. And so, speaking of new formulas, in just a few short days, April 1st, we are going to be launching this on the website so everyone will have access. So if you got access before in the event packs, you have not been able to get it, your hands on it or your customers until Wednesday. You guys, Wednesday, this will be back online as well as these all new experience kits. So you have the cleansing and the full signature line. And you guys, these are priced amazing. The cleansing kit, all three of these awesome little mini bottles that come in this really cool kit are 36 US. And then the brand new experience kit of the signature line, it went from 100, the blue boxes were 100, now it's 119 for the new one, but it's worth every penny. I mean, the quality, it's just incredible. Even the little cream is embossed with our ICD logo, and everything is a replica of the original bottles. So these are really going to be amazing. And I know that the last time that we introduced Experience Kits, they sold out. So you definitely want to set reminders for yourself that these are worth the investment because you can share them and gain more customers, more planners, and you can also sell them to your customers and planners. So we are also having pop-up challenge bonanza right now. I love seeing all of the pictures and all of the lives that have been going on in Team 1%. So the Facebook Team 1% is where you want to get all the updates, all of the information on this, where you want to post your pictures. You have to have at least 3 guests, either online or in person, and you can get entered to win every single week through April 15th over $3,000 in cash and prizes. So you guys, I know everyone's having so much fun with this, and I love it because you can jump in at any time and get your hands on these prizes. But more importantly, it's getting product out on people's skin, and that is the name of the game, right? So again, even if it's not in person, it counts, but why not host a pop-up party or have a customer host a pop-up party and just grow your business because it's fun and this is a great time to do it. It's nice out, spring is in the air. Okay, as you probably saw as well, we as Team 1% have been putting together dates for Remon Road trips. So coming to a city near you. So stay tuned because these are going to be coming down the pike as far as dates. But the first one that has been fully organized is Miss Tracy Zimmer. So we've got a business overview free for guests on March 28th in Calgary. And as you can see, they have an amazing lineup of leaders as well as from corporate. Angie Trujillo is coming out to join them. So this will be really amazing for any guests. You can, send them their way that are in the area. And then if they choose to stay or they're already a planner, so any planners in this area, make sure you also attend to stay for the business overview, training, and recognition.
So I
So,
think I think we already had this though.
oh my gosh, it's March 28th. I'm hilarious right now. Thank
We
you.
should have just let her keep going. What do you guys think?
You really should have. I'm like, that's why I said earlier, like, where did this month go? So, Tracy, how was your event?
No, Tracy, unmute. Tell
It
us
was
how it was.
amazing. It was amazing. It was so great. We got to hear from Angie, and we may or may not have heard like some little inside. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh man, now I'm
She's
jealous.
great. We know Angie is great. Get on Product University.
No,
You'll hear
tell
from her.
us. Tell us what you learned. You can't lead with that and not tell us.
There's just lots coming. It's going to be the year of makeup.
So we
That's all
really
I
should have been in Calgary 2 days ago instead of me saying, get to Calgary on March 28th. Oh my gosh. All right. Well, thank you, Tracy. Very exciting. So I know this has not happened yet. August 7th through 9th in Las Vegas is our next conference. So make sure that you have this on your radar. The ticket prices, you can see they're listed, through April 30th. So that's the next deadline. You want to make sure you get tickets between now and April 30th before the prices go up again. So you can do the QR code, or this is actually now connected to our back office. So if you're on your page, your Remon website, you can actually access it. I'll show you here in a second, actually. Okay, we are going to just touch on subscribe and save. Again, I know that there's been a few calls on this, but we have still had quite a few questions. And so we thought it was important to go over this again tonight. And feel free to, after I've kind of gone over some things, if there's still something that I forgot to cover, please drop it in the chat. Okay, this is an awesome flyer that was created by Planner. Thank you, ChatGPT as well, right? But I wanted to put this up again because it really is it's very good. It describes exactly what is going on right now. It replaces auto ship, but not the rewards program, right? So subscribe and save is all about doing additional rewards for either a planner or a customer. So you choose your favorite product, you have it on a subscribe and save for monthly delivery, and you save every single month. How much do you save? 5% for your first order starting in April, okay? And if you successfully complete 12 months of the subscribe and save cart, 10% off at the time of purchase in month 13. I've gotten a lot of questions. I'm sure a lot of you have. Can you change the items in the cart? Absolutely, you can. As long as it's running every month, it could be the cream one month and then the Boo the next month. Okay. So that will still count in the month one, month two, all the way to month 12. What doesn't count is the price lock. So for any items that you put in March, it locks in the current price. So as many of you know, we have a price change coming April 1st. But if you have a subscribe and save that's set up by March 31st, so tomorrow, it's going to lock in for April, May, and June that current price and an additional 5%. But if you take that item out of the cart, so for example, if you put in the dermatology cream today, you go set it up tonight and it's $60 and it runs in April, you're going to get it for 60. It runs in May, you're going to get it for 60. But if you take it out in June, well, let me, bad example. If it runs in April and you take it out and you put it back in June, so you didn't run in May, it'll go up to the new price. Okay. So anything that holds in there though, you're going to get the price for 3 months. And that's again, planners and customers. Customers are getting amazing savings, but you guys, as planner accounts, we're getting savings too, right? So we're getting that additional 5% plus the current price and our commissions. So if you're a planner, you're getting that 10%. Manager, you're getting 20. And then senior manager, team leader, right? 30, 35, and then the 40% as well. So those count for every single planner and customer. And it's no minimum order either. You can order one product or as many as you want. So this is another flyer that is very helpful on some language and things to say. If you haven't gotten to all of your customers yet or all of your planners, that's okay because you have today and tomorrow. This is also very valuable for anyone starting brand new to know that they can not only make their purchases and pick their packs at the current pricing that we have for March, but also lock in an auto ship before these prices change April 1st. And they will get the price April, May, and June. Okay.
And we'll
Now,
also get that $30 credit too.
yep, that's where we're going next. Perfect. So again, the subscribe and save, you get 5% off instantly when you order on subscribe and save starting April 1st. Okay. 10% every single time that's for a year, right? So if somebody is already in auto ship, by the way, so other FAQs is down here, customers and planners who have already been on auto ship, let's say they've already been on for 6 months, it's going to count as month 6 for March, month 7 for April, and so on. If they've been on for a year and next month is month 13, they will receive 10% off starting April 1st. Okay. The free gift of $30, which is a coupon that they can use, that will be honored for any auto ship order that's in their for their 3 months consecutive time period right now. Okay, so if they set it up, let's say last month, they're in that 3 month consecutive time period, they will still receive the $30 coupon gift. And anybody who sets up a subscribe and save by tomorrow, March 31st, will also get a free gift of that $30 coupon. So as long as it runs for April, May, and June, they will get that free gift in June of the $30, probably on July 1st. No free gifts after July 1st. Okay. So the free gift is going away, but basically they're grandfathering in anybody who's been on auto ship and anybody who sets one up by March 31st. Now, again, we just went over this, but the price lock is only on items in your cart 331 that hold for April, May, and June. So if you do change items, that's cool. It counts for the auto ship run, but it'll just lose that price lock. Okay. Did I miss anything, Bree?
No, you did so fantastic. This is why I'm glad you're explaining it. This is hard to explain.
Well, it's kind of a lot, and I know we all have been learning together along the way. But I think hopefully we all have it a little bit more clear. Okay, so one thing I wanted to do really quick, actually, if my technology helps me, is I wanted to stop share and show you guys exactly how to access the subscribe and save. So give me just 1 second. And then we're going to get to our amazing testimonials. So hang in there with me just really quick. Come on. I need like some music in the background. Okay, so hopefully this just came up. No, I don't think it did it? Oh, there it did. Okay. So if you go to your account, whether or not it's yours or a customer, this is now popping up. So anyone can click right here, subscribe now, and it'll take you to the spot. But I also want to manually show where it is. So if you just X out of that and you go over to your name and you come down to my account, it will come up with the options on the right-hand side. Zoom and Canva are not my friends tonight.
So is
So,
it a video or screenshots? Because the screen isn't changing.
well, I thought that I could just do a quick live demo
Oh, it's live. Okay. I don't know why there's a lag.
because I need a new computer, I think.
Yeah.
I know, I think I finally have realized this. Okay, so can you see it now, Bree?
Yes.
Okay. So subscribe and save is up here on the right-hand corner. So after you just click on my account, it brings you right here. And remember when I said you could buy tickets to conference? That's in events, by the way. So when you hit on subscribe and save, do 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 do. An hour later, it's gonna come up. Okay, so now here's your subscribe and save management. And when you scroll down, you can add what you want in subscribe and save. So let's say I want to lock in $90 on the Boo Say Boo. So I'm going to select subscribe and save. It's going to put it in my cart. I scroll back up and I can select the shipping right here, and I can decide what date I want. So it does not have to run in March. I think this is one point of confusion is like, well, I don't want one in March yet. I want one in April, but you got to set it up in March. And then you can pick the date for whatever day in April. It's auto-populating to April 25th. Cool. Check this box or else it will give you a warning and update preferences and it saves. So now you can pay now if you actually wanted to buy it right this minute. And at any time you can deactivate or at any time you can change what items are in your cart. Okay. But that's where it's found is just go to your name, go to my account, and then subscribe and save. And this is where anybody can change it or do whatever you need to do. Okay. So perfect. With that now, let's get back to what is exciting and why we're gonna.
Well, I'll
Oh,
say one thing.
yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah.
what I recommend doing is if you haven't set up your own subscribe and save yet, go add like a bunch of products. You saw how it wasn't going to run till April. Just go dump a bunch in there. And then next month you can decide what you want to actually run. But at least you're giving yourself some flexibility. So then you can remove stuff. But at least you have it in there. It's like your safety net before the month ends.
Oh, like you're saying, like if you're not sure what you want to price lock in.
Yeah, just go like I would go add the collagen, the Boost Boo, like just
Oh,
go
that's a
dump a
great
bunch
idea.
of stuff in there. It's not going to run for another month. So then you have the month to kind of figure out like if you have some shows coming up or if you have some parties or if you want to resell, it just gives you some time so you don't have to decide. Sometimes I get panicked trying to decide like at the last minute. So that's why I'm like just go set up your subscribe and save and then you can figure it out next month what you actually need.
That's a great idea. I love that because again, it doesn't have to run in March. So I love that. Okay, so we have been talking about how this new Rad 100, a lot of us got our hands on it from the event packs, but we have been talking about how amazing it is. And I have had a customer, I was sharing with a few ladies, I had a customer who's been one of my number one customers, and she loved the old Rad line. And she's been using this new one and has just been like literally just today, she was like, I am still just blown away by my results. Okay. So we wanted to kind of highlight some other people's results in our team and like, what are you guys experiencing? Because if you haven't gotten it yet, we want you to know how incredible it is. I mean, obviously, we know from the data that we have, amazing improvements. I mean, 116.39% more hydration after one use of the essence. And then the cream that it's improving the appearance of skin radiance by 40.89%. I mean, these are incredible clinicals. So we wanted to bring up some of you and talk about what are you experiencing with this new, technology that's in it, the new amazing things that are going on. So our very first testimonial is Cindy Ortiz. She is going to tell you guys, I mean, you can see her before and after photos. We were talking about it. It's like this is like her recent one, and compared to when she was using the products before, now like it's slight so far, but it's only been a short amount of time, and you can see it around her eyes, around her mouth. So, Cindy, I'm going to pull you up now to talk about what benefits you're experiencing with this new rad line. So, where are you,
Okay,
Cindy?
I'm right here.
Okay, perfect. There you
I'm right here. So, yeah, I'm 58. I've been using the ICD line for about almost 2 years. And I had used the Arad line. I had tried it probably like 3 times in trying to add it in at night because I knew it was oil based. I knew it was a little heavier. And I just didn't seem to work for me. Um, And then in the last few months, I had just noticed like the ICD was still working, but the age spots and things were just starting to. It's like all of a sudden they're getting brighter instead of going away. Um, and so when the new line came out and I heard that it was not as oily, I thought, okay, I'm going to try it. And I've been using it morning and night. And what I've noticed is that it's not near as heavy, it's not near as oily feeling, and so I've been using under my makeup. My makeup's going on smoother. I have noticed the age spots on my cheek. I think they're starting to fade a little bit. It's been 17 days. I've been using it for 17 days. Um, and I'm also using the new cleanser. And I'm just sticking to that. I'm not doing ICD or anything like that. I love using it with the collagen mask. The collagen mask, um, it just seems to go on better with the red line. Um, but my face just feels smoother. It's more hydrated than it was before. It was already hydrated, but it's even more hydrated now. And my makeup is going on smoother. So I've been really, really happy with it. And we're coming up on the summer months, so it's going to be interesting to see how that oil-based line really kind of feels throughout the summer. So I'm really excited. I'm really excited though, because I really want these age spots to go away.
I'm
So,
excited for you.
yeah, yeah.
You look glowing and beautiful tonight.
Well,
So
thank you. Thank you. I did my ritual this morning and then did a little, little spritz just a few hours ago. And this is what you guys get.
I love it. Well, thank you so much for sharing with us tonight,
Mhm.
Cindy. That's
You're
amazing.
welcome. Thanks for asking.
Absolutely. All right. So next up is our incredible Trina Lavoie. And Trina, where are you so we can pin you?
Okay, so I'm not Trina. Trina is sick, but I have her
Oh
testimony.
no.
And if you will share your slides, we have
Yep.
a before and after picture of Trina in here. I'm going to show this to you guys and I'm going to tell you what she said because I was blown away. So obviously she's just been using it for a couple of weeks, but Trina took, so the before picture, this was her using the dermatology line just recently. And so she took this, obviously this month. And then the after is after she had just been using the RAD 100. And so unfortunately, she's sick. I wanted you to hear how excited she was from her, but she said she couldn't believe how her lids are lifted. So look at her eyelid on the right side and compare it to the next photo. She said her lids are lifted. The redness is hardly there. Her overall face has brightened. Her lines around her mouth are gone and her mouth lines are less. So her marionette lines, what are marionette lines? What does that mean?
I think that's around your right here, around your
That is
smile.
around the mouth? Okay. She says she has more glow and she has less puffy bags under her eyes. And I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's amazing.
This is just after a couple of weeks. And so I mean, obviously she's been on the dermatology line for, a year and a half, 2 years. And so this is just another level of hydration and glow and repairing the skin. So I'll tell you my testimony trying out the Rad cream. And if you want to, like, let me do this. I'm going to spotlight so I can show you guys. So my testimony on the rad cream is that I could never use the rad cream before because it would make me break out. And I know it did the same thing to Susan. And I live in Houston, and so it is extremely humid here. And so, if I was in Canada, I think I would be all over these products, but it's already really humid here. So I could maybe incorporate these in during like our coldest days of the year in Houston, but never at a time of the year like this. I mean, it was 90 degrees today. So what's been interesting to me is, I mean, number one, you can see the packaging is gorgeous. Look at that. So this is the toner and look, it unscrews. So what I do is I take the toner and like some people put it in their hand. I like take it and drip it onto my face and pat it in so that I don't waste a drop. So I get it in the face, pat it all in, and I get down on my neck. So I'll just, I just do that. And it has the same smell. So people were worried, oh my gosh, are they going to add fragrance? Did they change the smell? They did not. It is fantastic. It smells so good. So then this screws back on, and then this is the serum. So the top pops off, and now it's just an easy pump. And what I love about this is that we are now getting 60% more serum in this bottle. So we're getting, yes, the price did go up a little bit, but we're getting 60% more, which is fantastic. And then, of course, this is the dermatology cream where it's the twist top. Now, what I noticed about this is before this product came out, Angelina, who's our Remon product specialist, she was not able to use this line because it was too much oil for her. It would cause her to purge. And she said, Bree, I've been able to use these products. She said, I think you're going to be able to use them too. And she's right. I've been adding these on. Now, I don't wear these during the day. I've added these in at night. For me, I love the dermatology line under my makeup during the day. And then I'm adding these in at night. And so I've been on it now for like a couple weeks, I guess, and no breakouts. So yay, I'm so excited that I get to like add in these benefits. And what I noticed is I had this little sunspot right here that's starting to go away. And just like your skin is brighter, it's more hydrated. It's, you know, my husband even said something. He's like, your makeup, he keeps telling me my makeup looks really good. And I'm like, it's because I've added in these products. So, anyways, I'm really excited about it. And I'm so excited for us to pass it to our next speaker that we have tonight. We have a professional on here. I know Susan has her slide pulled up right here. And um, what's really cool is if you don't know Dr. Diane Kaiser, she is actually a board certified doctor of naturopathy. So she's founder of the Cleanse, Heal, and Ignite ministry. But what's also really neat is she has a docu-series that she did. It's called Dying to Be Beautiful. And the title is very strategic, dying to be beautiful, because a lot of times people sacrifice their health for their beauty, you know, with things that we inject and things that we take, all of the, you know, all of the stuff that in the junk that's in our makeup and our skincare that we're slathering on the largest organ of our body. And so for her, she's not an easy sell when it comes to products. And Dr. Diane Kaiser is now the #1 senior manager. She has just really hit the ground running. And so I'd like for you guys to hear from her how she talks about the line when she's talking to either her patients or her friends, just what really stood out to her. And Diane, are you there?
I am. Can you hear me?
Fabulous. Okay, yeah, let me find you. Where is she? Like, raise your virtual hand.
Oh,
Oh, I see her.
Oh, there. Okay, got you. We're gonna spotlight you. Okay, take it away.
me? Do you have a question
Yeah.
for me to start? Hi, everybody.
Hi, so we would really love to hear. I know that you have kind of a unique way that you bring the products up to whether it's a patient or a friend or somebody, you know, she lives down in Mexico. So whether she's just talking to somebody down there about skincare or when she's out diving in the ocean with her buddies, you know, how do you bring it up?
With a fake smile first, of course, which all of you guys have to know what that means if you come to Vegas this year. Really, for me, everything that Bree said is totally true. I'm a tough sell. I have vetted out so many beauty companies for the last 15 years since I started doing this. And I'm really, really picky, and I ask a lot of questions before I even decide to do something. And actually, you guys can go back and listen to some other interviews. I think we did a panel like 2 years ago with me and Rimka and a couple other gals who are professionals as well. And we all pretty much said the same thing. And I shared it then, which was I was sharing Beauty Counter before this, and it was nowhere near as excited as the products that we have with Ramon. And Rimka saw me speak at a medical conference, and then I saw her speak at a medical conference, and we sort of cross-pollinated each other. And she had literally told me for probably about a year before I even jumped into Ramon. And I was like, no, I don't want another company that I have to sell things to people. And I'm kind of exhausted from this. I've been doing this for a long time. And then she chipped away at me. And then finally I tried the products and I was like, what? Like, seriously, what? Never, ever have I ever felt anything in my skin like this before. And never did I see the results that fast. And not just an overnight thing, but it just keeps building on itself, like fine wine. And actually, Bree, I live in the same climate as you do, and I love all of our products. So, I mean, of course, I have all the products on my face too, but every skin type is different. We probably even have more crazy humidity than you do down here, but I'm able to use all of them fine. So maybe it doesn't work the Radiant Sim line for Bree's skin type, but it works beautifully for mine. And I love the way that the new cosmetics feel. It's the way that I talk about it. I think that I'm so bought into this. And if you guys need to hear it from like a doctor who has been trying these things out for so long, who literally was dying to be beautiful, breast implants, Botox, MAC makeup. I made a whole movie on this. David Icke approached me to make a docu-series on it, book, programs, lots of different things. And I had a summit with over 33,000 people in it. And you guys, half of the women, they were mostly women, half of the women, this is in 2018, half of the women in a non-toxic beauty summit, right? You'd think non-toxic beauty. Would you think Botox is non-toxic? Half of the women who were helping people in these med spas or wherever they were working were using Botox. Because I said, "Oh, what kind of things are you using, on your patients or your clients or who, whatever, how they term it?" And half of them were using Botox. And I couldn't help myself in the middle of the interview. I'm like, Botox is non-toxic? Like it's literally the most toxic substance known to man. Um, you might want to rethink that. Like literally in the middle of the interview. We have to talk this way to people because now if you go out there and you see people who are selling beauty products, you can't see their face move. It's a hard conversation to breach. But if you're a warrior enough that you can have the conversation, what if you could have as close to, because you can't promise the moon to them, and then really they get worse results because there's nothing that's going to freeze nerves like Botox does and permanently destroy them. They can't grow back. So if you're able to have those conversations with them and say, what if there was a better way? Like one of my friends is listening right now. She's going to become a planner soon because that was literally the question that started me talking to her about Korean skincare and what not just Korean skincare, but us. Because like most women have heard what is Korean skincare. And then the next thing is, well, have you ever heard of a company that is close to worldwide that has a lot of things that they cover, not just the skincare, but also the cosmetics and growing. And also, I like to say that we have one of the coolest teams in the whole company, or the coolest team in the whole company. So it's a lot of enthusiasm. It's a lot of excitement. I wanted to show you guys a few things today too on how Bree and I really rocked this webinar that I had a couple weeks ago that brought me to the ranking that I got that prompted me being on the call tonight. So Bree, anything you want to do to take it from there?
Well, do you guys have any specific questions for Diane about how she
Yeah.
reaches out to people or questions about the products? How did it meet her standards or any building tips? This is your chance to pick her brain, and we can definitely talk about the webinar. So she calls it a webinar. Guys, it was basically just an online pop-up, which is what we've been talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So just like Susan shared, we have a couple more weeks to get entered in these online pop-ups. And it just kind of started with a conversation where it was like, hey, do you want to do one of these and invite some people? And so she did. She started personally inviting. She sent out emails. She just reached out to people. We had a fun group of women that showed up and we just talked. We talked about the products.
Mm-hmm.
We showed them. We showed some slides. My husband just came in because he's like, "Where's the rad?" Because I have it on the desk, and he's like slathering it on his face.
We
Right
talked
now.
about men. We talked about men at the
Yeah,
end. We had to talk about men and hair growth. And I actually want to share something interesting with you guys tonight because while you're generating questions. So Bree, how do you take questions? Is it in the chat or do you have them come
yeah.
live
Drop
as
it in the
questions?
chat if you guys have a question, and we're happy to answer that. Especially anything that has to do like what we shared on the pop up. We had several different speakers, and so we can. This is we're not doing anything that can't be duplicated. You grab some sidelines. We had a sideline leader on there. She talked about if you have any which products to start with to minimize any reactions. And
Oh
then we
yeah.
just had some
Yeah.
fun. You can
That's a
have
big one.
sidelines or uplines on there.
Thanks, Susan. Y'all are legends. Just be a unicorn. Be you, be unique, be beautiful. Anyway, I one of the things that I did too was I actually created like this little giveaway for them because I don't, you guys have probably heard a lot of people say, oh, I can't use them. I have skin reactions. I call that skin infection, skin inflammation, but it's not from the products typically. It's mostly because of, as you guys know, it's purging. And I see patient labs all day long, and most people are not purging very well. Like I can show you blood tests and stool tests and urine tests. People's drainage pathways are terrible. They're sluggish. They have metabolic issues. They're type 2 diabetic or pre-diabetic. People are not draining their toxins well. So the moment they start using our products and their lymph starts to finally push the toxins out that other products can't, then they're like, whoa, they didn't work. So it's kind of like anybody that does like even, Bree and I've talked about this. You do a parasite cleanse. And they're like, oh, it was really painful. So I had to stop. Well, that means it's working. So sometimes you need to go slow. So I actually put together a document, like I just called it a freebie, because if we can actually prepare them for the possibility and likelihood that they're going to purge, then they're not going to be so scared going into it. And then when it actually happens, they're not going to blame it on the product. So that's kind of another thing too, is getting people prepared for what is likely so that when it happens, they're like, oh yeah, that person told me, that doctor, that whatever your guys' name is, that coach told me about this and it's to be expected. And then therefore they're not going to be like, no, it didn't work. And I'm not going to tell anybody because you could lose sales that way. So I like to always give people an idea of what might happen. So then that way you retain them as customers. And it's actually not a bad thing. It's actually a good thing that they're having an air quote skin reaction. It's not necessarily the products, it's their body is finally getting rid of the waste that we're trying to get rid of in people's bodies all day long. So that's another really cool thing. Yeah, let me try to find it, Christina. Let me show you
Wow,
something
I
else
I
too.
have never heard it explained that way. What you just
Mhm.
said about how your lymphatic system can get stuck and stagnant, and so she's saying this allows it to start flowing and start pushing things out of the skin. Not everybody purges, it is a smaller percentage, but it can happen. And that kind of leads into Deb's question, which was, what are some key points to emphasize to people with either a medical or naturopathic standpoint that makes Remon stand out to you?
Yeah. Okay. First of all, I shared that document with you guys. It's in a PDF and it's called Getting Started with and How to Use Ramon for All Skin Types, Dr. Diane Kaiser. And can I share my screen? I'll show you guys a few things here. I'll give you guys some really cool secrets. Let's see. Oh, I'm disabled. Host
Oh,
disabled participant screen sharing.
okay, hold on. Let me do this really quick.
I'm going to put another link on here for you guys too. So obviously I have a website. I don't know if you guys all have websites, but I like to because I talk a lot to thousands of people a month. So I don't have time to get on the phone with a bunch of people. In fact, that's when I started with Ramon. Rimka told me, just send them to us. We'll get them all set up and then we'll do these calls together like this. And then we can support them. That's what's really cool about our team with like Bree set up the skin quiz. I mean, seriously, we're so spoiled. We are so spoiled. So, thank you, Bree, for all the work that you do to make this so much easier for us because all of this can be scalable, especially those of you who are super busy, or if you have another job, or if you're like a full-time mom, or you're exhausted and you don't have the energy. What I do is when people ask me these questions, okay, tell me more about Ramon. Even my friend who's on right now, I just go, oh, go to dianecasey.com/Ramon. And there's a video on top. Some of the most common questions that you hear, or also cutting people off at the pass before they get to the curve in the street, give them the idea that these things may happen. Or also, this is how I travel with them and just sharing stories. But from a clinical perspective, one thing I wanted to share, and thanks for that question, because it just reminded me, I've done a lot in this space. And one of the things that I learned from one of my friends who is a nurse, and she quit being a nurse because she saw how toxic the Western medicine world was. And she actually started formulating her own skincare products. She since sold her company, it was huge. And she taught me that like the top five ingredients, and I think it's something like 80%, like the top five ingredients are like 90%. Maybe Brie or Susan can vet me on that one. It's something like that. The top five ingredients in a formula represents 80 to 90% of the total volume. Then you have a whole bunch of little tiny ingredients, right, on the bottom. So I think I even left this message for you one time, Val. It's called greenwashing, where you'll see like if there's 100 ingredients and the last one, the 100th ingredient says copper peptides. But then the front of the label of whatever said company that's being sold on Amazon, which is the worst place to buy skincare products, or at Sephora, which is the best. Just kidding, it's the worst. You're going to see now with copper peptides in the front. And people get all excited because peptides are the big buzzword, but it's the last ingredient. So it probably represents 0.001% of it. So I explain greenwashing and how many companies that are out there that are doing that, that if you're just looking at the front of the label but don't understand what's really happening with the ingredients, then you're probably just throwing a lot of money at things that are just poisoning you. And then your body has to purge more. And you're actually poisoning your body, like Bree said earlier, trying to build your beauty, which that's the whole dying to be beautiful concept. So it's a great question. Crow's feet. Donna, just keep smiling. See, I have crow's feet. See, look. And I actually, here's it. I'm going to be straight real with you gals. When I did Botox in 2016 and 17, I went to a woman who probably got like a weekend certification. If you guys go to, I'm going to have a whole beauty focus page coming up here soon, but dianecasey.com/Botox if you want to learn more about how bad it is. I got so sick from it. I was on 2 rounds of prednisone. I was sick for 6 months. I couldn't figure out what was wrong with me. It was really, really bad. I scratched my eyes until I bled, and I thinned my under eyes so bad and my neck so bad that they were permanently thin. So I ended up having to do an under eye bleph because the rest of my face looked really great thanks to Ramon. But there's not much you can do when it gets that thin. And Botox destroyed those areas of my body. So I warn women that there's a price to pay over time for these things. So build it slowly rather than just trying to think that you could do a few injections and that permanently destroy and kill your nerves and you can't get those back. So that's what I would say. But it depends on the size of the crow's feet, Donna. I mean, crow's feet we get from smiling. So I don't think we should freeze everything. In fact, the new beauty trend, and if you look at Europe, they're actually doing the no makeup trend. Pamela Anderson is bringing that back. So we could also talk about that. I wear very, very, very little makeup now compared to when I used to when I was covering things up. But when I started using Ramon, I was like, wow, there's not much to cover up because of how beautiful that I feel. My skin looks really, really good. And I was getting so many compliments. So I share that document and I want to share something else with you guys on how I was so successful with that webinar. But I want to give some space to what I just mentioned. Anything, any follow up to that, Brie, or anybody else?
Susan, did you see any more questions?
No, I don't think so. Not yet. Just excellent info. This is super interesting. Please come back and do a masterclass.
I'd love to. I love this stuff. Okay, let me share something with you. Here's my other secret. So Instagram is getting pretty homogenized with a lot of talking heads talking about some of the same things. It's higher barrier to entry. I was a business major, so first and foremost, I look at like the SWOT analysis, strengths, opportunities, weaknesses, and threats, right? The threat right now in sharing in social media is that there's so many people that share on Instagram. That's like the number one place where a lot of women share a lot of beauty things. So I said to my social media team, and yes, full transparency, I do have a social media team. We're a very large ministry organization, so I have different pockets of people doing things for us. And I told my social media team, I said, we have to post on X because I do a lot of media and podcasting, and that's where a lot of the people whose shows that I'm on post their media. They're not on Instagram. They're not really on Facebook. They're on X. So I said, let's start posting on X. And that was probably about 2 months ago. And this was not a Ramon post, but the weirder that you can get with your posts where you're actually giving somebody value, and it doesn't even just have to be about Ramon. I talk about parasites a lot. I show my worm selfies of the things that come out of me. And then I talk about parasites are one of the things that destroys our skin more than anything. So if you could also talk about the root causes of why your skin is destroyed, people might go, wait, what? And then that post goes viral. And here, let me show you what I mean by that. So consider X, or other places to share. So here's a post that went pretty viral, 500,000 views. You guys are asking more. Garlic expels 10-foot worm, food cravings, belly bloat gone. You're like, what are you talking about? Put garlic up your butt? I'm like, yeah. So I shared something about this and I said, this is not medical advice, but the very first worm that ever left my body was 17 years ago. And I tried all these homeopathic things because I was just learning as a doctor back then. And I tried it and it was successful. And I had my SIBO, which also causes rosacea if you have small intestine bacterial overgrowth. I shared this and it went nuts. So I got like, I think 14,000 new followers in a week. And so this post went nuts. And then therefore everything after that, which then, well, here's another one. Here's actual, I should have warned you guys. But this one went pretty viral, 62,000 views, because I want people to know what to expect. So they're not so surprised when things happen. So if you give them kind of an overall, not just here's some products, but like, let's talk about your lifestyle too, things that will really help them and also gross them out in a weird way. So then I did all these other posts and then we got to the ones that came up to these. And you guys can find me on X. It's x.com/Diane Kaiser. We didn't get a lot of traction with these, but we got 820 views, right? And I'll tell you which one that was the most successful and the most viewed. So I did these cute little reels. This was like my morning routine. This is how I invited people to the webinar, by the way. Then I did the nighttime routine and the collagen melting sheets that got 800 views. And then I shared this one, which is women starting to look homogenized and the same, that got some decent views. Then this one, the scalp routine and the hair growth routine, did really well on Instagram compared to the other ones. But talking about, I talk about how I was never able to have beautiful hair that actually felt nice and wasn't like some toxic treatment at the beauty salon until I met what we were doing with Ramon. And I'm so excited about it because I've been using toxic beauty for so long. It's the way that I talk about it. Like if you're not excited about it, they're not going to be excited about it. So I share like I call everything builders and blockers. The blockers are the things that make us sick, and the builders are the things that make you well. And so I talk about what I used to do and what I didn't know about the ingredients. And then I talk about where I'm at now and the products and what I'm using and how impressed I am with the results. So these got us some good signups, and I have an email list as well. But those were the ones that we did. And I also did some cosmetics. We don't have all of them, but I share about Botox, and I do it in a non-apologetic but also compassionate way. But here's the ones, if you guys want to go back and check out my Instagram, it's instagram.com/Diane Kaiser. We got 6 comments only. I'm not looking at engagement, but morning routine, the nighttime routine, the hair care routine, this one got the most. So people are really focused on hair growth at the moment. And so those are the really cool before and after pictures to share. My Ramon page, I put a collage of all the before and after pictures. So it's all in one place, right? Like all of my links, the images, the take the skin quiz, here's the way to use them because people always ask how to use them. I put them all in one place because I don't have a lot of time to get on the phone with everybody. And I put all the information about what you can get as a discount for being a planner customer. I realize not everybody has, a website. This is the interview that we did, me and Dr. Rimka and a few other doctors, and then the starter kits for planners. So I put everything in one spot, and this helps me save some time. So I just wanted to share that because now you guys might be able to generate some questions, but try things that are not just the same as what everybody's doing. Do it in your voice and do it in a way that is only that only you can speak to, Don't be afraid to share your before and after pictures. Some of the ones I'm going to be sharing here soon, I'm so embarrassed to be sharing my before pictures, but it's what sells because you're the one that sells it. So those are all the things. And then Bree really rocked it on the webinar, answering people's questions, letting them ask questions live and doing it once. And then we had a giveaway that we said, if you buy by the end of the week, then we'll enter you into a raffle and you might win something. And then dianekaiser.com/webinars. If you guys want to watch the replay of that. But I had people enroll on that page. So again, I have a team and we manage all of this, but I hope I'm giving you guys some decent ideas that you can try on your own because my version of a pop-up is the webinar that we did because I have people all around the world that tune into what we're talking about.
That's so good. I know we only have like 4 minutes left, but if there's a last minute question that wants to come through, okay, I'm seeing thank you. Thank you for the ideas, the tidbits. And you can take all this, you can do what she's saying on social media or off social media. You could do it in a VIP group. You could mold this however you want to do it. And you don't have to do it alone. This is where you get to tap into your upline, sideline, downline, have a pop-up together, have some other experts come on. You can grab any of us and we just have fun doing it and demoing the products. It's kind of like, who doesn't love to go to Sephora with one of your friends? And now I go to Sephora with my Yuka app and I scan everything like a freak, but who
Yes.
doesn't love to
Yes.
do that with your girlfriends? And it's basically an online version of that where you can do it in person. So
You talk about that too, right, Bree? ewg.org/skin deep, that resource.
no.
So we did that when we were in the webinar. That's a really good one, you guys. You could just ask, we ask our patients all the time, hey, what kind of products are you using? Like skincare or please don't use a loofah, because people are like, oh, why do I have so much plastic coming out of my urinary lab analysis? I'm like, do you use a plastic toothbrush, like a bristle? Do you use a loofah, which is they're all plastic? So if you guys can go on to ewg.org /skin deep, you can type in the name of the brand that they're using and you can see the scoring of how that product rates. If it's not EWG verified or a 1 or a 2, then it's not for you. Anything that's scored 3 or higher, you can show people, oh, look, reproductive harm, cancer, oh, respiratory issues, allergies. And then they're sold. They're like, wait, I can do better than this. Of course, Ramon's not on there because like we talked about in the webinar, we're a whole nother level. Like skincare from Korea is a whole nother better rated system. So answering questions like that for people are really helpful. And then really just getting in their underwear drawer is what I like to say. Hey, what are you using? And then you can show them literally, this is the rating of your products. Now you want to talk about how to get rid of cancer before you get it. This is how to be preventative. Yeah, I'll put it on here for you for Sharon, www.ewg.org/skin deep.
Well, thank you
That's what
so
it's at.
much, Diane. We so appreciate your time. And Susan, any last minute thoughts before we close?
No, I mean, that was so amazing. Thank you so much, Diane, Dr. Diane.
You're
And
welcome, Susan.
yes, and one of the things that I always enjoy when I'm like soaking in information from you is like, we're in the right place. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, I just love hearing so much of what you have to share. It just makes me just believe in this and know that I'm totally in the right place. So thank you for that.
We're all in the right place, and be so, so grateful for our team. I've said this many times. I said it in Vegas. I said it in Cabo. I've never been so in love with the team. I've never felt like there's so many real human beings. Trina, who's not on here tonight, people who are willing to reach out and help. I just, it's not just the beauty of the products, it's the beauty of the soul of these women who are here. And I tell everybody, like my friend Val, who's on, and I'm like, this is the easiest team to join because you'll love the products, you love the people, you love how we come together, and we're all real human beings, just like these products. Can't say enough. Can't say enough.
Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone. Have an amazing week, and we'll see you on the calls this week. Okay. Bye.
Thanks for having me, ladies. Have a beautiful evening.
Thank you.
Bye, Susan.
Bye bye.